and welcome back to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn about love, relationship, and sexuality. I'm Jamie Lynn, and what we will talk about today is winning strategies in relationship. There's 5 strategies, which comes from one of my favorite models of couples therapy. It was created by Terry Real, and if you have not read this book, read this book. Oh my God, it's my favorite for anyone who's like, hey, how do I become a better partner? Or I'm having trouble in my relationship. Can you give me any resources so I can help myself through this? This book is the roadmap to creating the relationship that you want. And what we're going to talk about is really the final parts of this model. You've gone through all the work of discovering what it is you're doing now in a relationship that doesn't actually work, the things Terry calls the losing strategies. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch this video. You've gone through that process, you have an understanding of what you've been doing that's not working, and now you're ready to change. You're ready to start learning the things that actually do help your relationship feel closer, more intimate, and overall more healthy. So let me list the 5 things, and then I'll go into each one with a little bit of detail. So the 5 winning strategies are shifting from complaint to a request, speaking out with love and savvy, responding with generosity, empowering each other, and cherishing. So let's start with the first one, shifting from a complaint to a request. So often, what we do in relationship is we tell the person after the fact the thing that we didn't like. You did this thing, I did not like it. And what I'm going to relate this to is you can think about training children, you can think about training pets, whichever one you're more closely attached to. Some people have kids, some people don't, but think about it as any little being that you're trying to train. And if you only punish them when they do the behavior wrong, but you never show them what behavior you want them to do, and you never reward them or encourage them whenever they do that behavior, then eventually you're going to end up with a really frustrated, helpless, angry little being on your hands who's like, I don't know how to make you happy. And that happens with your partner too. If what you're doing is complaining after the fact about the thing that you did not like, rather than preemptively sharing with them what you would like and then appreciating them whenever they do that, they're going to have a hard time doing the things that you want. And so shifting from a complaint mentality, I wish you would not have done this, I don't like it when you do this, to a request mentality, would you be willing to do this for me, is the first winning strategy. And if you want more information about requests, how to do requests well, you can check out this video. I'll go more in depth into it. And if you really want to deep dive into how to do requests well, there is a whole section about making clear, loving requests in my program. And you can find a link for that below. So that's the first winning strategy. The next one is speaking out with love and savvy. And this is really about coming into a place where you pause, you think about the message that you really want to get across to the other person, and you communicate it in a way that is both clear and loving. And so the savvy part of it is I'm really sticking to the important part of my message. I am making it super clear. And then loving is my tone is open, my eyes are kind, I'm connecting with that other person, I'm showing them that I care about them when I speak to them, anytime I speak to them. This one is particularly helpful if you have something that you want to talk about that usually has been kind of touchy. And if you intentionally speak out about it in a way that is loving and savvy, the conversation is more likely to go in a direction that is connecting, where the other person will be willing to listen to you. It doesn't always happen that way, no. They have their own work they would have to do to get to this place, but there are ways that you can Set yourself up and your partner up for the best possible interaction. And one of the ways is to monitor how you speak to them and attempt to speak in a way that is loving and open and inviting for them to continue the communication with you. The next winning strategy is responding with generosity. So this one is all about the listening partner. And so often we get this mixed up in relationship where we have two roles, really. There's the person who's speaking, there's the person who is listening. And so often what we think about in relationship is we both speak and then we figure it out. So you say your side of things, I'm going to say my side of things, and then we'll figure it out from there. In reality, that usually is not the best way to do these kinds of conversations. Most of the time it's not. It does not actually invite the kinds of repair that will help the two of you move forward. Instead, what is helpful is there is a speaking partner and a listening partner. And the speaking partner's role is to communicate what's happening inside of them in a way that is loving and savvy. And the listening partner's role is to take in that information, really hear it, really try and understand it, really get what the other person is saying. The whole time, what the listening partner is doing is reflecting. Here's what I'm hearing you say. Am I getting it right? Do I understand what you're telling me? And then the generous part in this, what makes this generous is by listening so well, I'm actually giving my partner the thing that they've been asking for this whole time. Rather than trying to fight for my perspective and tell them, well, here's where I'm coming from, I'm really just taking them in. I am generously accepting what's going on inside of them rather than having this, it's really kind of a pushback. Even though we don't mean for it to be. Most people don't ever mean for it to be a pushback. We don't mean to put our partner on the defense. But when you come back with your side of the story, it does not go well. Right now I'm thinking about the incredibly powerful and important movement that's happening here in the US, where people of color, the BIPOC community, is speaking out and trying to tell white people, this is what's going on. And our job as white people is to be in a listening role. Our job is not to try and speak about, well, I never meant to be racist, or I didn't know that was happening to you, or that wasn't my intention. None of that is helpful in the relationship. What is helpful is to be generous, is to listen fully and take in the other person's story and really absorb it and make sure you understand and ask them, do I get it? Am I fully with you now? And when the answer is yes, thank them for sharing. And also check and see, okay, now what can I do? What would you like from me? And take that in generously too. Ideally, they're giving you a request rather than just a complaint. Here's the thing I would like from you as well. And it will finalize the repair that we're doing together. So that one's responding with generosity. I am responding first by taking in everything and making sure I really get it. And then responding from that place. What can I do? Do I understand what you're asking of me? Am I on the same page as you? The next winning strategy in a relationship is empowering each other. And so when it comes to empowering each other, both partners will do this at any point, but let's continue in this example of there being a speaker and a listener. So the speaker has done their role. They have lovingly and in a savvy way communicated their hurt and their request. The listening partner has responded with generosity, taking in the whole message, clarifying, making sure they really truly get it, and then responding in kind. Yes, I am willing to do this request, whatever it may be, in order to make you feel more loved and happy. Then it's the speaker's role again, empowering the other person. And what they would do, the empowerment move, is awesome. I so appreciate that you were willing to do this thing for me to create a repair. Is there anything I can do for you to help you with this? How can I empower you to feel good so that you are able to meet me with love in the way I'm asking for? And like I said, either partner is going to do this at any moment. Anytime I'm making a request, I'm going to ask my partner, is there anything I can do to help you with that? And then the last winning strategy is cherishing. And you can think about cherishing as really, truly appreciating who the other person is, what they do for you, all the things you have in this relationship. And some people might be hearing this and might be thinking, I'm really good at that. I'm so good at appreciating my partner. And my suggestion would be to pause for a moment and just consider that maybe there is still room to grow, and that it's possible that you could become even better at this skill, becoming really proficient at appreciating what the other person is giving to you. And not only appreciating it deeply inside, which the first aspect of that is receiving it, noticing when they're doing something for you, really taking it in fully and feeling it. And then the next part is, after you feel it internally, you let that show on the outside. You appreciate the other person and help them to understand what it's done for you, that they've been so loving in whatever the way they are. And so let's go through the whole thing real quick with an example. First step, making a request instead of complaining. So if I want more cuddles from my partner, rather than saying, I wish you cuddled me more, I'm gonna say, hey, I would really love it if we snuggled more. Would you be willing to cuddle with me for like 10 minutes every day? And I'll ask for you to do it at a specific time. No, let me try again. So the request, I'm gonna make it really clear, and I'm just going to say, would you be willing to cuddle with me for about 10 minutes every day? My partner can say yes or no. They can come back with a negotiation, whatever works for them. But it's way more clear. They have a direct map to the thing that will make me feel happy, right? And I brought that up in a way that was loving and savvy. Tone was good. Eye contact was good. Openness was there. The invitation was there. All of it felt clean rather than upset or frustrated with my partner in some way. And if my partner was going to respond with generosity, it might sound like, oh, you want to be cuddled more. I know that you're somebody who needs a lot of touch, and I would be happy to meet that need for you. Thank you for asking for it. I really appreciate that. That would be an awesome, generous move. And so then the next step would be my turn, empowering my partner. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you're willing to cuddle with me more. Is there something I could do for you that would help you to do this? And my partner might respond with, yes, I would love a reminder. Can you remind me once a day? Or my partner is actually a really organized person, so it might be, could we do it every day before bed? Can we stack it on top of something we're already doing together so that I know when it's gonna happen and I don't have to worry about when it's gonna happen? To which I would say, yes, that's awesome. I would love to stack it with that other habit so that it definitely happens and you're not having to stress about it. And then the cherishing move, when it happens, and also whenever it's happened more, just saying to my partner occasionally whenever I feel true gratitude. It's been really, really lovely for me that we've been doing the cuddling, and I appreciate that you've continued to keep this routine with me because it really does affect my mood so positively. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Ta-da! So that is all the winning strategies kind of strung together. That's an example of what it could look like. And I want to do more examples. This is kind of fun, but I'll do those in later videos. This one's getting a bit long. If you have questions, if you want to clarify anything, please take a moment, leave a comment, ask me questions. I love talking about this stuff, and I do read all the comments. If you think this could help anyone that you know, please send it to them. I really appreciate the support. And remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time with more tips and tools for your love life. Bye for now.